PAX 8 Beyond 2026. What an incredible event. Incredible. I believe it's PAX 8's finest. Was there in Salt Lake City, and it was run incredibly well. The keynotes were really, really incredible. Great messaging, great new announcements. The way they handled the media. We had a whole podcasting row and treated us really, really well. Well attended. Thousands of MSPs, thousands of attendees that were just, ready to learn, ready to share, ready to be part of this community. Really great event. They're in Salt Lake City, an unusual location in that I've never been to an event there before, but Salt Lake City did a really good job of hosting it. Beautiful there in the mountains, and absolutely the weather was incredible, although we didn't spend much time outside. But Podcast Row was set up incredibly well too by PAX 8 leadership. Had 15 great conversations. First was with Brent Whitfield from New Charter, of course, from Garage Startup to 8-figure exit lessons for MSP leaders. Great conversation with Brett, great insight. Next was my friend Rob Scott from Monjura, of course. Why AI can't replace human expertise in high stakes decisions. Great conversation with Rob. Rob, so well-rounded. Really enjoyed. It's my second time talking with him on the podcast. Dave Meister from Checkpoint, from Tech Apprentice to Global Cybersecurity Leader. Great conversation with Dave. Really, really cool insight. First time meeting Dave. Oh, and then Kim Simmons. My goodness. Second year talking to her at PAX 8. I'm a big fan of her and her Cloud Contracts 365. How growth mindset and AI are reshaping business success. Wonderful to see Kim. Next, Dan Daniele from CrowdStrike. Had the pleasure of knowing Dan for many years. How AI is changing cybersecurity faster than most businesses realize. Really great conversation with Dan. Always enjoy his time. Ryan Sigouin. First time I met Ryan from ScalePad. Really great conversation, really open. Why your best growth opportunity is already in front of you. From PAX 8, next was Ola Wodakowicz. Sorry, Ola, if I mispronounced that. From burnout to balance in a hyper-connected world. First time meeting Ola. Really great conversation. Enjoyed it. Gagan Singh, of course, from Blackpoint, CEO there. The AI revolution, opportunity, risk, and the future of humanity. Great talk with Gagan. I've had the pleasure of talking to him before, not on the podcast, but really, really smart, really insightful. Daniel De La Garza from Kipling Secure. Great conversation with Daniel. There, we're doing a lot of work with Kipling. It was a really great conversation. Thank you, Daniel. Next was Jason Myers from Open Text. AI is powerful, but not as smart as you think. Great conversation with Jason. Joe Levy was next from Sophos. Had so much in common with Joe. We're both from the Northeast, and we were doing very similar things with computing in the 90s, and really great insight from Joe. Thank you very much. Luisa Balanuch. I think I mispronounced that, Luisa. But incredible conversation with Lisa. She's doing great thing with offshore and nearshore hiring, helping MSPs do that. FlexPoint is the name of the company. Ryan Walsh from PAX 8. My friend Ryan, is the second year we've talked on the podcast. Great insight. The time goes by so quickly. Thank you very much, Ryan. Brian O'Shaughnessy, one of my good friends for 15 years, has an MSP, recently merged with a friend, Rob Bruce, who I also talked to. From startup panic to lasting success. Great talking with Brian, great insight. Jessica Davis. My goodness, Jessica, we've known each other for a little while. Great to have you on the podcast. And last was Rob Bruce, the two leadership partners at SkyTide, from Africa to MSP business. Excellent guest. I thank all of you for taking the time to spend with me there at Beyond. And thank you for watching and for listening. Hi, I'm Joey Pinz, and here's my 45-second introduction. After starting my business in the 90s, I started developing poor habits of eating in my diet because of working way too much. Before you know it, I found myself 340 pounds. The doctor told me if I don't lose the weight, I'm not going to see my daughter graduate. Took the next 7 months, lost 130 pounds. People think there's some secret. Ask me, how'd you lose that weight? Like there's some secret. There is no secret. How'd I lose the weight? Just one word, discipline. I've had other successes in life, and I attribute them all to discipline. Now, I'm not the king of discipline, but I believe that it can help all of us. Friends, colleagues convinced me to start a podcast. The podcast mission: how do we better ourselves and society? I talk to interesting people in health, fitness, sport, wellness, business, technology, science, art, and culture. And I eventually ask them how discipline plays a role in their life. Podcast vision: growth through learning from others.
So you're building a cabin on an island?
Yeah. I guess somebody seated you with that.
I sense it.
Whoa, you caught me off guard with that one, man.
Yeah, and why?
My family has always had cabins up in that area, and so this little piece of property came up for sale, and so opportunity to buy it. It's like literally right across the lake from the cabin my dad built.
Wow.
So it was like, it was too
Internet
good to give
access,
up.
electricity?
Well, like no services whatsoever.
Whoa.
So internet access is Starlink, and electricity is all done through like solar backup generators and stuff like that.
Plumbing?
Well, it's all plumbed into like a septic field, but
is.
it's an island in the middle of a lake, like so water access only. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's like you're away from everything, but now with technology, you're like directly connected to everything as well.
Starlink is there.
In this fast-paced MSP landscape, how do you stay ahead? Introducing MSPinfluencer.com, your ultimate hub for MSP news, insights, and community connection, powered by Forza Dash. More than 75,000 MSPs subscribe to our MSP Influencer Pulse weekly newsletter, staying informed and ahead of industry trends. Tune in to emerging podcasts from Joey Pinz and leading MSP voices, offering essential tips, powerful insights, and success stories. Explore our multi-authored blogs, crafted specifically for MSP leaders, delivering fresh perspectives and actionable strategies. Celebrate excellence with the industry-leading Forza MSP Influencer Awards, recognizing innovation, leadership, and impact in the MSP community. Join thousands of MSP professionals who trust MSPinfluencer.com to grow their business and expand their networks. MSPinfluencer.com, where today's MSP leaders connect, collaborate, and conquer, all powered by the Forza platform, helping MSP vendors work effectively with MSPs and helping MSPs grow.
So
I have a friend on Mount Denali as we speak at 14,000 feet.
Okay.
And they use Starlink, and they were able to, it's amazing
I love
with that technology.
and absolutely hate it. It's good because I can spend more time there.
Right.
But it sucks because
you're at work.
Yeah, you have to do stuff while you're there, right? There's no excuse, but you get to spend, like I spent all August there last year.
Did you really?
And so you're just framing every night and then work during the day. So yeah.
Wow. Do you see yourself going there more?
You know what? It's hard right now.
Yeah.
Like with everything that's going on with AI and the SaaS space, it's like everything feels like it's like everything's brand new again. So everybody's just grinding. So you try and find the time. This summer will be good. Like anybody that's from Canada knows that you only get a couple good months. So you got to try and take advantage of them. So we'll do August as much as we can up there and see how it goes.
Vancouver's a great spot. Even the winters, they're just a bit rainy. They're not very cold, though, like
That's
Seattle.
Right. Yeah, it's exactly the same microclimate to Seattle.
Right, and you do a lot of fishing off the shore.
Yeah, so offshore fishing, like as much as I possibly can. So you got all of the, like everything off the west coast of Vancouver Island. You have all of the runs that go along there, and it's been better in the last few years, and the fishing on the inside, like in the Georgia Strait's, really good right now too. So we've been spending as much time as we get, like out there, but it's few and far between.
And what do you catch?
Salmon, almost
all
salmon, halibut, a little bit of lingcod, but mostly the salmon's what everybody's out there for.
And is it going upstream back to Alaska?
Yeah, well, it's like there's lots of different areas. So there's a bunch of inlets that are run all the way up the coast of British Columbia. And so they'll be running up those inlets, spawning, or depending on the year, like some species of salmon only spawn every second year. And so you'll get those runs that run kind of every once in a while. So just depends on what's going on.
And the bait you use?
Depends. Like my ideal bait is what's called a plug. And so typically when you fish salmon, you're fishing from boat and you got your downriggers and you're trolling, right? And so you'll have like a flasher, which is this big plastic thing that spins in the water, and then you'll have your bait towed behind that. But when you get a fish on, now you got this big chunk of plastic between you and the fish, which is fine, but it kind of sucks. And then, but if you're plug fishing, there's little, what used to be wooden plugs, now they're like plastic. They look like a little fish. It's just that, and between you and the fish. And so it's like basically like fly fishing on like a really soft rod in the ocean with like a 20-pound 30-pound salmon, which is like super cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And they're good eating.
Yeah, it's great.
It's salmon, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
And you can't get more fresh than that.
Yeah.
No farm.
It's great. Like, it's just a good excuse to spend time in a boat with people, right?
Very good excuse. We're here, of course, Ryan, at the PAX 8 Beyond event in Salt Lake City. What are some of your goals this week?
Yeah, I mean, like, the only reason I come down to these things is to meet with partners. So I spent a ton of time as an MSP for 20 some odd years.
Did you really?
Yeah. So now it's kind of cool to be on the other side of the fence.
The dark side.
Yeah, you try and act like you wish
Right.
everybody would have acted to you during that period. So it's like just trying to spend as much time as you can talking to people that are actually using your product, and then trying to understand exactly what they need to make sure that like they can like enable the rest of their teams with it, or they can adopt it like easier, or maybe how the pricing models start to play into something that makes sense for them. So it's literally right now, Chris, our CEO, and myself are just down here. I think he's sitting in partner meetings all
Chris
day
is here?
today. Yeah. And same with me. So we try and schedule as many as we possibly can, and then try and get all the booth time in it that we can to just sit and try and knock through as many as we can. But
how does ScalePad help MSPs?
Well, like, the core of what we offer, obviously there's a bunch of products in the stack, but I think the one that we're most kind of focused on, most proud of right now is really Lifecycle Manager. And so when I was building my MSP and Chris was building his MSP, the biggest challenge that
Chris Day, by the way.
Yeah, Chris Day. Biggest challenge that we had was account management. Like, I had 18, 20 account managers. I had no idea what they were doing.
Wow.
And so it was all really personality based, was the way that account management really runs within the MSP space. And so processes and systems around account management, they don't really exist in a really great way. But it's crazy because that's where your biggest opportunity is the growth of your existing customer base is substantially more profitable than getting new clients in constantly through the door. Like, everybody knows that if you get a new client in, it takes forever to make them profitable. You're going to burn hours and hours and hours of like onboarding effort. And then you have these customers there that are like your core customers that have been with you for all these years, and you don't actively try and resell to them and create more margin off of that. And so that's really what ScalePad and Lifecycle Manager are the tool that you need to work on like your partner expansion, rather than just go after like growth through new client acquisition, which is super inefficient, especially in the MSP space.
I was a former MSP. Lifecycle Manager was called something else.
Yeah, Warranty Master.
Warranty Master.
The classic Warranty Master.
Yeah.
So I used it in my MSP, when we were attached to IT Glue.
Yeah.
And the core of it was really cool because like the thing I think everybody loved about Warranty Master is that you set up integrations and then everything else was just done for you, right? Like, there's no
true.
effort to onboard it, and I didn't have to go train my staff on every little instance of like how to actually use the application. It didn't require a lot of labor to get benefit from it. And so that's really what we're trying to build out with Lifecycle Manager, is the same thing, is that like LCI, Lifecycle Insights, was a product that we acquired, which was an amazing product with a lot of really great thought process around how to run the account management process, but it was still really manual to use. And so the goal was to take all of the learnings that we got through that acquisition, build it into Lifecycle Manager, but give it that same level of automation that we had in Warranty Master that made it like the thing that everybody loves so much.
So Ryan, when an MSP is evaluating lifecycle management software, your competitors, what questions should they be asking?
Yeah, I think like look for an opinionated vendor, I think would be the biggest thing. Is if you look at what's really great about products that came into the MSP space that helped really mature it. If you look at, I always point to like ConnectWise. I know everybody kind of has their opinions on PSAs right now, but when ConnectWise came out, it really defined the way that the industry was going to run and how you ran service delivery, how you ran agreements, all of that stuff was really, everything that we use right now was defined by that product.
I see.
And because Arnie was so opinionated in the way that he thought that needed to be done.
I remember.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody that worked with him
on
remembers
stage,
that.
he would insult his competitors.
Totally,
yes.
yeah. But he had a really strong
That's
opinion.
a good point. Yeah.
And I think products that are built without opinion end up just being like trying to placate to everyone. And then you end up with something that's like built by committee and just feels completely whitewashed. I think when you're looking at something like a CS tool is what we kind of refer to our section as, should have an opinion on exactly how the process of account management should run. And for us, that's like, you need to do an assessment. Assessments are the foundation of proof. Assessments drive initiatives. Initiatives drive roadmap. Roadmap drives budget. And if you don't follow that process, everything becomes very complicated. And so we're really big on like making sure that those things tie together in a really efficient way, and then trying to figure out ways to automate it as much as we can.
You said you're a former MSP. Tell me your MSP story.
Yeah, I mean, I started when I was 19, like came into the business like as I guess a research assistant would be the best way to put it. So for those of us that were like around before the internet, remember like HP IRGs and building configurations of printers off of little books that got sent to you every month. So I did a lot of that, and then slowly kind of worked my way through the business into sales. And the opportunity came up around 2000. The owners of the business really were VAR centric, and like you had all these online stores that were just crushing kind of all the hardware margins at that time. They wanted out of the business, so offered it to buy it from them at that time, and then we just ran it for the next 15 years.
Wow.
Grew it from like a couple of us to decent sized business, 70 some odd employees, and then merged with another organization in Canada, and then became kind of one of the larger MSPs in the Canadian market. And recapped a bunch of times, did all of that stuff, ran like 13 different integrations as we went through that. So I was more like an operations nerd than anything else. So all of the MSP tools and all of that were really where I spent a lot of my time. And then having a lot of really kind of clear opinions on how integration should run within the MSP space, especially when you're doing a lot of M&A. And so, yeah, that's my story. I had the opportunity to exit a few years ago. Chris and I actually competed against each other from the time we were like in our 20s, and we were in the same market. And so we've been trying to find an opportunity to work together for a long time.
And here you are.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity to come and
what did you love about the MSP?
Honestly, it was the learning. Like, I don't know if there's many industries that, and I think it's the thing that burns people out, but it's the thing that I think is the greatest about the MSP space is that I would say like every 5 years you have to retool the entire business, right? And so it made sure that people that were in the industry that could be competitive and stay relevant in the industry had to be interested in it. And so when you come to like events like this, you're always, it's easy to find conversation because everybody is so actively engaged in what they're doing. So I love the challenge of rebuilding the business every 5 to like 7 years, right? Was the most fun for me.
And what'd you hate about it? Or dislike?
No, I hated stuff about it. It was like, you know, it's the phone calls, right? It's the constant connection was the thing that killed me. I remember going like hunting or whatever, and you'd be in the bush and you'd have like a satellite phone and you'd call in every day to get like your emails from your assistant in the office just to make sure that you're on top of everything, or being on all the time, like all weekend, every night. Like you never knew when you were going to be called on to take an escalation. And it didn't matter what size the business was. It was like that when we were 5 people. It was like that when we were 100 people. It was like that when we were 300 people. So never really changed.
What if discipline wasn't about punishment, but about unlocking your best self? I spent 2.5 years writing Discipline for Greatness because discipline changed my life. And I know it can change yours too. This isn't theory. Inside, you'll find real, practical steps you can use immediately to focus better, build stronger habits, reduce stress, accomplish your goals, and bring more balance to your life. Whether you're trying to get healthier, improve your career, or simply feel more control, this book gives you the framework. Start today. Grab your copy of Discipline for Greatness at joeypinz.com/book. Thank you.
You were always,
you're
always on call.
Always on, yeah. That was the toughest part. So I still talk to MSP. You talk to MSPs too.
Yeah.
And I have found anecdotally that the three things that keep them up at night have been pretty consistent the last 6-7 years. Tell me if you agree. One, cybersecurity. They're worried about their clients getting attacked. If they get attacked, they've got to allocate resources. They're all fixed rate, so they're going to lose money.
Right.
Might even get fired. Heck, they might even get sued.
Yeah.
2 is human capital. How they're going to keep their people happy.
Yeah.
How they're going to get more talent. It's very tough to get that. And
Totally.
3 is just growth. Private equity has poured in hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
People selling their MSPs. How am I going to grow organically or maybe through acquisition to be more attractive to buyers?
Yeah.
How does ScalePad help?
Yeah, I think that the interesting thing that ties all that together is the people portion. Like, what's really interesting about conversations right now, Joey, is like everybody's talking about AI, and AI is great and all those things, but like the opportunity that you have right now is around the people that you can bring into the business. Because I think that there's a lot of owners that are really focused on maybe spending more time in the AI conversation than they are in like the people development conversation. So if I was an MSP right now, I'd be looking to build my bench as hard as I could with people that had the capability to do the AI stuff and work with me on it rather than just doing it myself. And when I look at like Lifecycle Manager and the products that ScalePad builds, it's like we're building processes for humans to use that are supplemented by AI, not AI only processes that like I don't think that there's a lot of traction on right now. And if there is traction, it burns out really quickly. So I think I think all those things are really related to just get good people around you. And I think by building and investing in products that support people, you create like capacity within them to do a lot of the things that like need to be done around some of the other like enhancements that like AI is like the craziest best thing that's ever happened to like the industry and computer and everything like that.
Maybe
we
the
see
world.
it as ScalePad. I agree.
Yeah.
Like the rate at development that we get to do, the conversations that we get to have in that business now are amazing. But there's a whole bunch of people that are supporting those conversations. And I think, for me, that's like products like ScalePads, like Backup Radar, Lifecycle Manager, all of those things just give people time back. And that time is even more valuable than it's ever been, especially if you have the right people.
MSPs and even small businesses shouldn't forget that it is about the people.
You're like a service-based business.
Yeah.
And it's like, doesn't matter what, like you go to a restaurant, like you go anywhere, it's all about the people that you interact with. And I think, it's easy to forget that, like, especially in the in the age of automation, that it's people interactions that people want still. They love getting their issues solved, but they also love having conversations about the strategy of their business. They love having conversations about how to recruit better people. They love all of those things that are going to differentiate them from all of their competitors are not things that are built off of being faster to get a service ticket resolved, right? So
I remember we had the MSP and we bought another MSP and we were up to about 50 employees. I remember we had a picnic.
Okay.
And went to the picnic and Ryan, I was meeting, a family's children, and then I was meeting grandchildren.
Yeah.
And I was thinking to myself, this business that I created in my father's garage is affecting grandkids.
Yeah.
And I remember not feeling happy. I remember feeling, after the picnic, I remember going to the office, saying, I'm going to have to work harder.
Totally.
I mean, you say it's about people, and it really is. I mean, the effects that it has.
We did so when I had my MSP, we did a kids' Christmas party. We do our regular Christmas party, but my dad worked for some like grocery chain years and years ago, and I remember they had these kids' Christmas parties.
That's a great idea.
And I like that stuck with me my entire life.
That's
the fact that the company cared that much about to bring everybody in and give them all presents, and they were all things that they like checked. All that.
Yeah.
We did that at our MSP, and it was like
what a wonderful idea.
It was such a
wonderful idea.
Crazy way to motivate yourself, but also to feel what your impact was, and the people that you actually work with every day.
Is there a question, Ryan, you wish more people asked you?
Yeah, I think like there's a lot of conversation about scaling an MSP, but I don't know if anybody knows like one, I don't know if they actually have the interest in it. In a lot of the times that I hear the question, it's just like, what's the next question after that? Is like, okay, like scaling an MSP is great, but it's like immediately goes to how do I acquire new clients? And I don't think that that's the answer. I think a lot of new client acquisition comes through referral. Like we've all seen that as the industry has grown. And so it's like, how do I treat my existing clients better would be the question that I love for people to ask. And how do I get more referrals from my existing customers? How do I get more growth from my existing customers? Those things I think are way more important than what marketing company should I engage with to get more leads. Like it's just, that's not the path that this industry has never grown through outbound marketing, and I don't think it ever will.
Interesting.
So like spend more time with your existing clients, treat them like proper partners, and I think that that's the actual path to expansion within the industry, not like grabbing a whole bunch of NCA and then churning it out the back as quickly as you bring it in.
If we went back, like, I don't know, 10 years or so, Ryan, was there something you believed firmly then that you no longer believe now?
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of things. I mean, you know what? I think I was like, so I'm very operationally minded.
Yeah.
And so operations always, like, I think gets confused with creating constraint. And I think I was a little bit more inclined to create constraint when I was growing, like with the benefit being this idea that processes were more important than like growth in some instances. I think that's something that I've completely changed my tune on is like, especially when you look at running go-to-market around a company like ScalePad, it's like our job as a go-to-market team is to enable growth, not to create like more barriers for things going into the business. It's like, and whether that's like the way that our partners work with us, whether it's like product pushing through whatever GTM cycle we need to run, all of that, I think flexibility and all of that is really important. And that's the thing that actually breeds like innovation and growth. And you just need really good people to manage that, not really good processes. And yeah, that's definitely something
People
that you pick up
yeah.
over the years. Processes change so quickly, right? And so if you don't have the right people in place, you're just going and you're chasing those processes all the time. And one individual has such a hard time trying to like keep control of all of that. If you have good people around you, then that kind of solves for itself.
So I started the MSP back in the 90s, although we didn't call it an MSP back then. And I was working way too hard, Ryan, 14, 16-hour days. You're no stranger to this. And putting my diet and exercise in the back, you know.
Okay.
And next thing I know, I'm in front of the doctor, and she tells me I'm at 340 pounds.
Yeah.
So I had gained all this terrible amount of weight.
Yeah.
And she says, you know, if you don't lose this weight, you're not going to see your daughter graduate.
Right.
Scared the life out of me.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm driving home, upset, angry.
Good thing the MSPs of this era have GLP-1s to take care of that for me.
Very different time now, isn't it? Yeah, you can think of it. They didn't have that back then. So in that vein, in the next 6-7 months, lost about 120 pounds.
Okay.
Right. And you can't look at these things as finishing line. These are like lifelong changes. So when I tell people this story, they always say, "What's your secret? What'd you do?" I said, "There's no secret. Discipline, motivation, focus, routine, all part of discipline." How does discipline play a role in your life?
I mean, I think like the thing that like people always ask me is like, how do you work so hard? And you're like, I don't know if I like work so hard, but I definitely just do the same thing over and over and over again. And I think like every message that you give, every like action that you take, like you have to be okay with it being a little bit boring and like just stay the core. Like losing weight is a really great example. It's not exciting. It's like very painful and it requires a huge amount of discipline. But I think if you can be consistent, that's the thing. Like every MSP that's successful has a large like amount of discipline, even when it comes to tech stack and all of those things. Like we talk about all the time, like just don't chase shiny objects all the time. There's no silver bullet in the MSP space. It's just stay the course, right?
And that's how you view it.
I think like I've always been like do something, like whatever you start, just make a commitment for this period of time and then assess. So I'm going to start this, I'm going to do it for a year. If I decide at the end of the year it's not reaping the benefit of it, then I'll stop then, but give it a year before you make that decision. Otherwise you just move on to another thing and you never end up finding out whether that was successful or not.
Right. And as a kid, you looked at it the same way?
I mean, like I've been every business that I've been a part of, like which has been very few, I always find myself like I just stay there forever, right? So it's and as a kid, I think I don't know, as a kid, I had the same thing. I think I jumped around a little bit until I found my path a little bit more. But definitely as an adult, and like you look back at your parents and the way that they raised you, like my dad was like absolutely like the most consistent person you'll ever meet in your entire life. Like did everything exactly the same every single day. And I think just there's a lot of like pride that comes from that, but also I think like there's a lot of like sanity that's derived from just not feeling like you have to constantly be chasing a million different things.
What motivates you, Ryan?
You know, I think it's learning more than anything, Joey. It's like the idea that there's like, and I think that that's why this industry is so interesting, is that like you're always learning something new, and the opportunity to come into a SaaS business like ScalePad and really like make an impact in that has been great. I've like learning the intricacies of running a SaaS P&L, and it's just, those are so fun to me. And anything related to technology, like I love the learning aspect of it.
So given that motivation of learning, how do you measure success?
I honestly, if I don't feel like I'm learning, I don't feel like I'm being successful. It's pretty straightforward for me. It's like you can feel whether like, does it feel like I'm progressing or does it feel like I'm being stagnant? The minute I feel like I'm being stagnant, then I'm like lose interest, and then you try and get some new things going, right? And so you have to have something you're interested in.
Want to show your love for discipline, inspiration, and the Joey Pinz podcast? Now's your chance. Introducing the brand new Joey Pinz merch store, where style meets discipline. Choose from premium apparel, cozy hoodies, stylish hats, durable bags, and your new favorite coffee mug, all featuring the iconic Joey Pinz logo. Perfect for podcast fans, discipline enthusiasts, or as unique gifts for friends and family. Every purchase supports the Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations podcast, helping us continue to inspire greatness and promote positive change. Visit joeypinz.com/store today and wear your discipline proudly. Joey Pinz merch. Wear it, share it, and live it.
So your message this week, Ryan, to MSPs is?
I think the big thing for me is like, look at your existing account base. Expansion is way more valuable than growth through NCA.
Right.
And
NCA.
So new client acquisition, like it's you've got all of this opportunity sitting in your existing account base, and you should be trying to take advantage of that rather than going and chasing new client acquisition all the time. Your time is much better spent with your existing partners. And I think if you don't have a really good referral program, maybe get that running before you start going out and trying to find another like outsourced marketing team to throw dollars at.
So great talking with you today, Ryan.
Yeah,
Anybody
you too.
watching and listening, how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can follow me on LinkedIn. Run like a newsletter through there, and always reach out to me if you have like anything around ScalePad, or if you're a ScalePad partner and you want to just talk. I'm like always available for a conversation.
Very good. Thank you so much, Ryan.
Yeah.
Great pleasure meeting
Yeah,
you.
you
Thank
too.
you.
Thank you for listening and or viewing Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations. Please share this episode with one or two of your friends who you think may benefit from the episode. Our website, www.joeypinz.com. There you'll find lots of resources, and you could join our mailing list. Please follow us on all our social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Podcast information, the video version of our podcast is on YouTube. Please subscribe. Audio is on all major podcasting platforms. Please follow them. And if you like it, please consider giving 5-star rating. Would really appreciate that. Thank you again for listening or watching Joey Pinz Discipline Conversations.